Well, first of all, Heidi, thanks for letting us crash the set today.
Please, anytime.
Yeah.
Come visit.
So I want to talk to you a little bit, of course, about this documentary that's come out. We all know the slogan, because I'm worth it.
Yes.
And now we get to learn more about the woman behind that incredible slogan.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about the doc and the woman?
So Ilon was a woman that 50 years ago, when everything was run by men, basically brought attention to women for the first time. She worked in an advertising agency, and the advertising agency was full of men, and they never really thought so much about women and their worth, and that whatever we buy, we want to feel good and look great, and we want great results afterwards with, if we color our hair or, we use foundation, mascara, lipstick, whatever it may be. And so she came up with the slogan, I am worth it. We are all worth it, So I think it's amazing, because she was the first one who pioneered, for women.
Absolutely. And when you think about it now, it seems so straightforward and simple, because I'm worth it, right? But that really is a journey to self-worth and self-love, and women being encouraged to embrace that and celebrate that about ourselves. Do you remember maybe the first chapter of your life or moment when you kind of stepped into your power and truly felt, absolutely, I'm worth it?
Well, I think for me, when I didn't want to do certain jobs, and I said, no, I don't want to do that. And people were like, what do you mean you don't want to do that? I'm like, yeah, it's not for me. It's not something that I want to do. So to say no made me feel very powerful, instead of always having to say yes. I do have to say I always did feel my worth, my life. And I think that has a lot to do with my parents. And, always kind of whenever I did something, they praised me a lot. If I was painting and I was really into dancing, and they always drove me to my dancing lessons and everything. And always, told me, you're doing a great job, and, oh, what you have on is cute, or, so I feel like I always got a lot of praise and compliments, and I feel like that kind of gave me the inner strength that, I'm worth something. What I produce, my paintings or whatever, was, made me feel good about myself.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important, also now me having 4 kids to praise them on the good things that they do, and not always be like, don't do this, don't do that, but also to tell them, when they do something, that is good.
No, I think that's really brilliant and so important, right? Instilling at an early age confidence in children who eventually go out into the world and become confident adults and powerful adults.
And I feel like if you did not get that maybe from an early age, I think it is important to also give yourself a break. Find the good things about you, and give yourself a break. And tell yourself, you are worth it. There's only one you, and you're very special. There's no other you.
And there are some incredibly impressive women, yourself included, who have said those iconic words, because I'm worth it, right? You've got Viola Davis, Helen, Mirren, Andy McDowell. What does it mean to you to be amongst such powerful, impressive women?
It feels amazing to be amongst those women. I also have to say, when I was younger, I always noticed that L'Oreal was showing different women, also of age, and celebrating them. And I always took note of that. And I was like, this is so cool. And to be able to be one of those women now, also representing kind of my age group, I'm turning 52 now. So I feel like, it's great what they've always done, because you still feel worth, you feel worth it at, 52, because age. I feel like, a lot of younger growing up, you kind of feel like, okay, there is this due date, and then after that it's downhill, but it's not, so I think that message is so important.
It really is, especially a woman of any age, especially in our industry, to reshape the narrative around what it means to age.
There's no cutoff date. We're always worth it.
Absolutely.
And you have to really, truly believe that and believe in yourself.
You mentioned your kids and instilling that confidence in them and complimenting them and speaking life into them. When you think about even your daughters especially, as they also navigate the modeling world, they're following in mom's footsteps, what are the lessons that you think are most important to teach them?
When you look in the mirror, you have to be happy with yourself. You have to, well, hopefully you live a long life, right? So you share this life with yourself the most than with anyone that comes and goes. So I think you have to really love yourself and be happy with yourself and the person that you see in the mirror. You know, I think that's most important. And like I said, also, if certain things come your way that you're not happy in doing, you have to speak up. And say no if there's something that you really don't want to do. Now, my daughter has said no a lot, where sometimes I'm like, I think you should have said yes to that, but that's you,
like,
you do you.
Your decision, your life. So Lenny and Henry right now are following in your footsteps especially. Do you give them any tips on modeling, or do they kind of want to do it their way?
No, they ask me about tips.
Oh, they do?
Yes, especially my son Henry. You know, he was like, oh, what should I do? And in any case, it's funny that he asked me, you know, he was like, you know, Mom, I really want to get into modeling. What do you think about it? I'm like, wow, who knew, you know, that you wanted to do this? I thought you were always more into music and, you know, different types of things. And all of a sudden he was like, yeah, I want to give this a shot. You know, do you think I can do this? And I'm like, you're like so handsome, of course you should do this. And so he strutted around a little bit at home, and you know.
Do you see any of Heidi in the strut just naturally?
I see more his dad.
Okay.
I see more his dad, I have to say, yeah, he's spitting image of his dad, and he walks like him, and so I see more the dad. But
okay, it's so fascinating.
But that is a good thing. He's super handsome, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And Johan and Lou, are they at all interested? What milestones are they?
Well,
hitting?
Johan, he just passed his driving test.
Congratulations,
so
Johan.
He's driving around now, so that's scary. He also will go off to college. So this is 3 out of 4 going to college. So so now I sit basically with my 15-year-old at the dinner table, and I mean, I think is going to be the president. So watch out, everyone.
Oh, well, all right, we're ready.
She has interest in everything. So she is like a hoarder like me. She loves arts and crafts. She can't get rid of anything because she's like, I might glue this onto something and make something out of that.
So
then she makes wigs, and she loves cosplay.
Wait, is she making wigs?
Oh, she makes all sorts
impressive.
of things. Yeah.
I picked up the hobby. I just have weave all over the place. It's not easy.
But no. And she's very good at it. She also loves debate. So she does debate class. She does debate tournaments on the weekend. She also is part of the big choir. So she has, you know, interest in so many different things. But she also is kind of at the gate with the hoof. She's like, okay, when can I do this modeling stuff? I'm like, you just turned 15. Let's wait a hot minute, you know?
Do you think about having an empty nest? Are you
I'm scared
excited?
Of that.
Are you sad? Is it bittersweet?
I'm definitely not excited about an empty nest. I think my husband, Tom, is more excited about it. He's like, yay!
He's like, it's go time.
No, for me, it's definitely hard, you know, because our house used to be so full of life, so loud. You know, the dogs, the kids, everything, mayhem. Then the friends of my kids. So everyone was always at our house. So it's getting more quiet. Yeah. It's a little scary.
And speaking
but that's part of life, I guess.
It is, just different chapters, different eras. You and Tom are looking at 6 years this year.
Yeah.
What's on your love bucket list? Maybe Tom's got a longer list now because he's excited. He's like, we get to do this now and this and this.
I mean, I think also what is important, bucket list, to find the beauty, the love in every normal situation. You know, it's not always about, oh, let's fly to Bali, or I want to have this ring, or I want to have this or that. I think the most important thing is to find the beauty in simple things every day, you know, in normal things, let's say. So, I don't know, just like very cuddly, sentimental things, you know, to me are always more important than anything else or any trip, even though I love going on a trip with him. But so I try to find the beauty in, you know, every small little thing in every day.
I love that. That's beautifully said.